Thank you, Dr. Alterman. I now recognize myself for 5 minutes of questions. This hearing serves an important purpose to educate everyone here and everyone watching at home about Judea and Samaria, or as commonly known as the West Bank. We speak so freely about this territory in Congress and in conversations across the country. And I think it's really important that we're actually all on the same page about what exactly we're talking about, especially when we talk about the potential for a Palestinian state in the future. So this map behind me is a current map of Judea and Samaria. The map is color-coded to showcase the different areas located within what is referred to as the West Bank. Area A in burgundy is the only area with full control by the Palestinian Authority. Area B, which is more of a mustard color, is under PA administrative control, but Israel has certain security responsibilities there. And then Area C, which is the rest of the map, the beige color, and covers over 60% of the land, is under Israeli civilian and security control. So when people say the West Bank, this is what we're actually talking about. So Mr. Klein, why do you think fully understanding the makeup of Judea and Samaria is helpful for members of Congress as we talk about long-term resolutions to the Palestinian-Israeli conflict and other topics at present time?
Thank you. Israel has given away all of Gaza, given administrative control to 40% of Judea and Samaria. This is where 99% of the Palestinian Arabs live. They live under their own rule. Nobody is occupying them. They have their own parliament, their own TV and radio, their own media, their own police force, their own businesses. It's important for people to understand this. And it's important for people to understand that Israel has offered a state to the Palestinians 8 times in the last 80 years, starting with the Peel Commission in 1937, last with Ehud Olmert in 2008. Olmert offered them 97% of Judea and Samaria, 3% of Israel, and half of Jerusalem. They said no. I asked Ehud Olmert personally, Mr. Prime Minister, how could Abbas have turned you down? There was no compromise. You gave them everything. And he said, Abbas said he won't sign an agreement that says we support Israel as a Jewish state. I won't sign it. To have a limit to the number of Arabs can move into Israel to 150,000, I won't sign it. To have a clause that says there'll be no further claims. We will have further claims whenever we want. So it's important to understand the history of this region and what was offered in Judea and Samaria. That was turned down 8 times in the last 80 years.
No question. Now let's rewind a bit. Mr. Kontorovich, can you clarify whether Judea and Samaria was originally part of the British mandate for Palestine established after World War I?
Absolutely. It was part of the League of Nations mandate for Palestine. There was no such distinct entity. There was also no distinct entity of Gaza. The current shape of it, with its weird curves and bubbles, are simply as far as the Jordanian and Iraqi armies got towards their eliminationist drive towards the coast.
So when the British mandate ended in 1948 and the state of Israel was declared, how was sovereignty over Judea and Samaria determined, or was it left unresolved?
So when a country is created, there's no formal announcement of its borders. The rule of iuti potestatis works automatically to, if there is a dispute about its borders, then that determines its borders. So Israel's borders at the moment of its independence would have been the borders of mandatory Palestine.
And who took control of Judea and Samaria following Israel's independence in 1948, and under what legal framework did that occur?
The Jordanian army, the Arab Legion, along with Iraq and Saudi Arabia, who are helping them, under the framework of an invasion that was not recognized as lawful, an aggression.
And to what extent do past international frameworks or negotiations such as Oslo and subsequent agreements still shape realities on the ground today?
Oslo, I think, is quite important in that it did transfer the control of the lives of Palestinians and governance of Palestinians in Judea and Samaria to a Palestinian government. So they are, as Mr. Klein said, governed by Palestinians.
Within 40% of what is referred to as the West Bank.
Which happens to be where most of them, in fact, live. Now, it's true that many of them have been trying to move into Area C on the theory that they already have A and B locked down. Now let's try to take control of Area C. Demographics does not hold still. Time does not stop.
Thank you. I now recognize the ranking member, Mr. Sherman, for 5 minutes.
Thank you. Mr. Klein, you point out that some of the greatest Jews in history lived in the West Bank near Hebron.